Litigation is war. It's a battle. Bam! And I'm not talking about no bullshit. I'm talking about some Jean-Claude Van Damme ass-kicking shit.
Wait! Before we get started on this movie review, please do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button right at the bottom. It's calling your name.
That was beautiful.
The Burial. It stars Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones. I have to say, I enjoyed the movie, but after thinking about it, the best parts were in the courtroom. Outside of it, I kind of got like, kind of bored. Tommy Lee Jones is a elderly man. He wants to leave something for his family when he passed.
13 kids.
13 kids. And boy, he was trucking, wasn't he? Boy, he did more than Joe Jackson, and Joe Jackson did.
Oh my God.
He is the owner of a few funeral homes in was it Mississippi?
That's it, Southern Mississippi.
His burial insurance has been denied.
It's being denied because the company's not doing as well as it used to. And he's got to keep a certain amount of money in his account in order to keep that insurance.
So he tries to work a deal with another funeral company that's this huge billionaire guy that has so much freaking money. But this guy, he's gonna try and undercut him in the deal. Didn't sign the contract or anything like that. And there's a new rookie, a lawyer on there played by Mamadou Athie. You might know him as the voice from Elemental. And he's like, you know what? I got this new hotshot lawyer that I just saw that I think that he would be great for this. You know, he can galvanize a whole jury.
It's not even so much that Jamie Foxx's character can really galvanize a jury. They need someone to galvanize this jury. Because in Southern Mississippi, most people there are black. And he's afraid that if Tommy Lee Jones puts up his old lawyer, who's a good old boy from Mississippi, a white man, that they're not going to get a fair shake. The jury, who they assume will also be black, will look at him and be like, nah, I don't trust a thing this man has to say. So they're like, you probably need some counseling who can actually speak to the jury instead of like at the jury. And that's where Jamie Foxx's character comes in. Now, the original agreement was that Tommy Lee Jones was going to sell this big corporation I think it was 3 of 9 of his funeral homes. So he can keep his insurance, stay in business, and he can have some money to leave for his kids. But the corporation is like, you know what? As time goes by, you're just going to be more and more desperate. The corporation is like, we'll just wait you out. We'll wait until you will accept a much lower offer.
And then you go bankrupt.
Exactly. And then you'll go bankrupt. So they're suing that corporation for going back on a handshake deal. Now, to be fair, they had a contract, but the company hadn't signed it yet. So all they had was a handshake deal. And so the whole thing is like, legally, how much liability does this corporation have over just a handshake deal, but not a contract deal? So all that stuff is interesting. And I thought Jamie Foxx's character was interesting. But I'll be honest, this movie really is just a Lifetime movie starring Jamie Foxx. So it's interesting to see this after watching a Martin Scorsese film, where you can see how Martin Scorsese can take what might be a dull concept and make it really interesting and try and stretch it out for 3.5 hours, where this movie, it really has a hard time, I think, elevating what is just a courtroom drama featuring an old man and Jamie Foxx. Not a lot of fireworks in this film. Not a lot. You're really just watching Jamie Foxx puff his chest out and, you know, spread his peacock wings and be all extravagant. And you're watching Tommy Lee Jones just be old. That is literally his role. He's like, I'm old. So there's a lot of like surface level stuff, right? Like Jamie Foxx's character is flashy and bling bling. Tommy Lee Jones's character is, you know, old and folksy, and you're watching this odd couple fight against a humongous corporation. I could totally see this film running on USA back in the day. Exactly as it is. Yeah. So this is just a Lifetime movie with some very safe race talk that also happens. They work so hard to make sure they don't offend anybody. No one gets upset. You know, they don't say anything too spicy, which I think all that stuff kind of adds up to a very middle of the road type of film.
When the defendants found out that Tommy Lee Jones character got him a fast talking black lawyer. It was like, the reason why they got him is because he's black. They're trying to galvanize the black jury. We need to get somebody that's black on our side. So
I got my own Negro in mind.
They got Journey Smollett. She's so fine. But man, I think she does a pretty good job being the counterpart to Jamie Foxx's character. The only interesting thing is when they're in the courtroom and they're going back and forth. But outside of that, like if this was in the theaters, this thing would have bombed.
Yeah, I don't even know how you even sell a movie about an old man going to court in the movie theater. So I get why it's streaming. So it's in the right spot. It's just there's just not a lot here going on. This is very much by the numbers. Within 10 minutes of the film, you know exactly what's going to happen. You know all the character arcs. Maybe you don't know exactly how the case will be resolved, but you know that our show-offy, hyper-confident lawyer will be humbled at some point in the film and have to learn some humility, have to learn to work with other people. We know that. We know that our young hotshot lawyer will be the guy who comes up with the one thing, that one thing, yeah, that sets everything off right. Like the movie never deviates from a formula you've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of times. This is a made-for-TV Lifetime film brought to you by Amazon. Think about that too. Amazon bringing you this movie about going up against humongous corporations. Do you really think they're gonna be as spicy as they need to be?
No.
They play it all safe, right down the middle. Because of that, our main villain is, I mean, he is straight up evil. He is like a mustache twirling villain. Like his introduction is literally like, can't wait for them old folks to die. Just not in my pocket. And I'm like, all right.
That sounds kind of cynical to me. Aren't you worried about losing sight of your customer?
My customer? What customer? My customers are dead guys.
They humanized his representation instead, who was played by Journey Smollett. Journey Smollett is immediately asked, like, why are you working for this big, white corporation when you could be, helping your own people? And she's like, who are you to tell me how to live my life and how I could help my people? You don't know me. But we never quite go far enough to where the movie gets really hot, really spicy. Literally what I just said is that's all of it. That's it. And they never move beyond it.
The original lawyer that's on his team, the white lawyer, he has a past where his grandfather was a member of the KKK.
But even that didn't hit as hard as I think it could have, because his introduction is also quite mustache twirling. He's like, get me a bourbon, boy. And I was like, okay. It's like his first thing he says.
Hold up a sec. Excuse me, son. You want another drink?
No.
Whenever you get a chance, can I get another bourbon over here?
You get the time, get me another bourbon, son. And it's like, oh, okay. And so he's just like sonning every, black person he can see. So when it's revealed that his grandfather was in the KKK, the courtroom was like, ugh. But I'm like, no shit. Like I could see you plant that seed, a million miles away. When I was in film school, right? When I was in school, they said, a good director, he will, like light fuses. Psst, and it is slowly getting towards its conclusion, but it's getting there quietly, right? So when it finally explodes, you're like, right, you did light that fuse early on. I see the setup, I see the payoff, gotcha. But instead of very quietly having that fuse sizzle, it's like playing a trumpet.
The only people that brought things to the case was the young black lawyer Hal and Jamie Foxx's character,
which makes the movie feel very undramatic.
And
when all the bad things happen, exactly. When all the shocking things happen to unimportant characters, it makes the movie feel less dramatic than you think.
After me sitting on the film and thinking about it, I enjoyed everything that was in the courtroom. I really did like those scenes. I thought Jamie Foxx brought a lot of charisma to the role, but everything outside those courtrooms, it was really dull to me. So I'm gonna give this film a C+.
I'm giving this a C. The movie was too safe. Like, I can see why we wanted to make this film. Once you lift the hood, you see there's a lot of things about race and racial tension going on here, about rich people taking advantage of poor people. So I can see why the film was made.
It's like, oh, look at that. All right, close
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. They're like, that's interesting, but too interesting for this film. And they closed it, right? So all the stuff that I think could have made this film more electric, could have made this film more dramatic, was sidestepped. I said earlier, I feel like this is a Lifetime movie. I feel like everyone knows they're in a Lifetime movie. Like, I don't feel like Jimmy Foxx was like particularly trying that hard. Like, he kind of looked distracted. Like, maybe he was shooting something else while shooting this. Tommy Lee Jones, he's kind of sleepy through this. Journey Smollett, she's like fine, I guess. Like there's nothing particularly.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
There's nothing that stands out in this film for me.
Now, would you recommend this film?
I would not. This is just too safe.
I say go ahead and give it a watch on Amazon Prime. But more importantly, do you recommend this film? Have you seen The Burial? Please get in the comments and let us know what you thought about it.
Hey, wait.
What's the
We can't split the pole. Can't split the pole, man. Come on, Doc.
Please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button at the bottom if you have not done it yet. It is free. If you did like this rating review for this film, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. Or you can hit the thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it's mostly wrong. See you in another video.